Hey everyone, we are live on Facebook. So I am back from being in New Jersey with Profit First headquarters. We'll get that out of the way. And so I'm looking for your comments here. Make sure that I don't miss anything. But I was looking over all of. First of all, let's back up here. We're going to be doing this every week, rain or shine, and it is raining here in California, of which we are so happy that it's finally raining. But every Friday at 9 o'clock, you can count on this to ask questions and to get specific answers back from me on what you need to do in order to be successful with your profit first. Your following the book and all the applications that have to do with it. So I was absolutely privileged to go back to New Jersey to Profit First headquarters and have 2 days with Mike Michalowicz and Ron Soroyan, and a big shout out to them for all of the individualized help that they gave me. Just priceless, priceless, priceless. And I want to share what I have learned with you, and we'll use this Facebook Live as a way of making that happen. And of course, always, if you are interested in really taking your business to the next level and bringing in those profits to in a form of cash to yourself so that you're paying yourself what you are worth, then Sum of All Numbers is here. That's what we do day in and day out, as well as the bookkeeping background that we give that support with keeping your books up to date and such. But the consulting part of it is a major part of our business here. So that is my little plug for why we exist here at Sum of All Numbers and what we're here in order to serve you. So thanks for being a part of this Facebook group and supporting one another in our efforts. So as I was kind of looking through all of the posts from this last week and the last month, really, there is a lot of questions about taxes. So we're going to take a step back right now and really talk about what taxes are. If you don't own your own business, you go and you work for someone else and you have a salary. So put that mind frame on. And most of you have experienced that, whether you worked at Taco Bell as a youth or whether you just got out of a different one, or whether your spouse or significant other might have that situation. So you know that you have a declaration of the pieces that you take out of your own tax. So let's say you make, we're going to use a big number, $10,000 a month. And then your declarations are like, all right, I'm going to be in the 30% tax bracket. So you have $3,000 that is pulled out. Or, you know what, for ease, we're going to say $2,000 gets pulled out. That means you take home $8,000, right? Now, when you go and you file your taxes, what's happening on the other side is that the company is paying for another. I'm going to use a different number. So let's say 1,500, okay? And I do that so we can keep it very, very clear. So at the end of the day, when you file your taxes in this situation, then the IRS shows that $3,500 have been paid toward your taxes, whether they're state and federal. We're just going to keep it really simple. So in this case, as a salaried employee, you have $3,500 that have been paid toward your taxes. Sometimes you get a return, sometimes you don't, depending upon all of those factors and the IRS rules and owning a house and deductions and children and all those pieces. This is real simplistic. So you get the benefit of $1,500 that a company paid for you. That is what the company paid on your behalf. That's the benefit of a salary. Now, we're shifting completely and we're looking at you as a business owner now. Now you are running your business, and whether you're taking a salary or whether you're just doing draws, either one, you have you are drawing the purpose of Profit First taxes. The tax account for Profit First is for you, the business owner. It's not for employees. It's not for other pieces. It's not for if you're a it's not for the property taxes. It's about the income taxes for you as an owner. It's for that $1,500 piece or that typically a company would pay if you weren't going to be working for somebody else. When you hire employees, it is a cost of your business, operating expenses of paying the taxes. That's what it means to have employees. It should never touch your tax bank account. That is not for covering employees. You will always, you hire another employee, let's say you're going to give them a salary of $20,000, always add 25% to that for benefit of for the thought process of how much is this going to cost me, the company. So then you know, all right, I'm going to pay him $20,000. I better add another $5,000 in your operating expenses so that you know you're going to have an expense of 25,000. So let's go back to what we're looking at for you. We start in profit first, your tax allocation at 15%. Why so high? Why are we looking at that? The number one reason is we want you to be so profitable that you owe taxes. I know that sounds backwards, but we want you to be so profitable that you have to pay taxes. Therefore, set aside 15%. Now, at the end of the day, when you are really raking in the money and you're profitable and then you do your taxes and you realize, you know what? I've got all these write-offs. I know what I'm doing. My CPA is amazing. I'm only going to owe $10,000 or 10% of it. You can adjust that tax bracket down as you have the real life experience of where your sweet spot for your taxes. Otherwise, put 15% away because I would rather you have enough money to pay the bill than not enough money. That's why we do profit first in the first place. So now let's go back to the scenario that you're in. If you're taking owner's draws, you're not paying taxes along the way. You're just taking it, the money out, and then when you file your taxes with your CPA, then you're gonna have a tax bill, and that's what that bank account is meant for. Whatever that tax amount that is due, you take out that money, you pay that tax bill, and you go forward, and you adjust it as needs be. If you are drawing a salary, and most of you, when you get to a certain point, the IRS likes to collect their money along the way. They don't want to wait for the whole year. So, you know, if a CPA is like, you better start taking a small salary. Now you've got a portion of that the company is paying on your behalf, right? So you want to use that tax amount. That's what that tax amount is for. The tax bank account is to cover those taxes. As a business owner, your tax bank account in Profit First language is meant to cover your personal income taxes as the owner so that it's the same scenario as if you were working for someone else. Hope that answers the question. So I'm looking over, I don't have any comments coming in. So you guys got to help me here. You got to give me some questions so I don't feel like I'm just spouting out with whatever comes to the top of my head. But I am prepared today. So I'm prepared every time, just in case no comments come in. And I'm also noticing at the end of year end is that for us in the financial industry, year end is month end, year end, quarter end, year end, and that turns into stress. And yesterday, one of my consultation calls was very much on, okay, there is just a lot of stress. And we really broke it down into how do you handle stress when you're at when there are things happening in your business. And it gets down to what is that thing that you should be protecting most? What as referred to in Mike's book Clockwork, it's like, what is your queen bee rule that must be protected at all costs? So I just reiterate that right now, if that's what you're feeling, to really focus and make sure that you as the business owner are not letting that slip. If you're able to delegate more of those other tasks, then go do that. If you're not, then just prioritize and make sure that those most important things that are wrapped around your queen bee role. So here at Sum of All Numbers, our queen bee role is to have communication with you. And so that is why, regardless of the massive amount on my to do list from just getting back from out of town, being on this call with you is the number one thing, to have this communication with you. So thanks for being a part of this Facebook Live group. I hope that you meet me next week, and we'll keep on sharing these tips. And so have a great week. And it's February. Who can imagine? It's already February. All right. Till next week.